Hi there. I want to talk about something really quickly. I remember having a little vision about Simone Biles. It was shortly after this whole interview. People started discussing the interview with her boyfriend. I think it was some other ex-football players or something, some athletes. It was a show, a podcast they had, and they were actually supposed to be interviewing Simone Biles' husband. I didn't realize Simone Biles was in the room listening to the interview, but I mean, she was quiet. And during the interview, they started asking a lot of questions about Simone Biles instead of him. And, it was already, everybody was talking about how he was acting like, he didn't know who she was and making it seem like, because she wasn't popular enough and all that stuff. I don't want to get into that. I just want to briefly talk about a little vision I saw shortly after that right there, after that whole thing. People were talking about that. I just saw a big yellow balloon. Now, we know a big yellow balloon full of air that has for a lot of us, we know that's the solar plexus. Okay, that's the confidence and that's all of that, and that's your identity and all of that type of stuff right there. That's basically kind of like your ego, your identity, yourself, your confidence. And I saw him holding a thumbtack wanting to pop the balloon. And this happens a lot. I'm bringing this up because this happens a lot. We gotta be careful with folks. At this point, I just don't trust anybody. But you got to be careful with people. It seems like they have a problem with you having a lot of self-confidence. They having a problem with you being successful. It's like they just don't like it. But in this case, maybe her success is something that's a problem for him, but it seems like it's more of her self-confidence. Like, he doesn't like her confidence. Like, the fact that balloon was like fully inflated, was yellow, solar plexus. She has a high self-esteem. And I saw him wanted to pop that balloon with a thumbtack, wanted to pop it like he wants to take her, ruin her self-esteem. I just don't want to be bothered with folks like that. And let me tell you something. Like, unless you are some kind of licensed psychologist or psychiatrist or therapist that gets paid, don't try to be a therapist for these people that got these kind of problems. Oh, well, it's because he had, like, some people realize stuff is going on with these folks, these people, but they want to try to help them. They want to try to change them. I'm not saying that's the case with her. I'm not saying that she saw things, little red flags with this guy, but for some of us, we see this type of stuff already, and we think we can help these folks. Oh, well, I can change them. They just been through this type of stuff in their life. They've been through this type of stuff in their childhood. And you think you're going to try to help them. But the problem is they don't want no help. And if they do want help, they need to go to a therapist. Me as a doggone woman, a partner, a wife, or whatever, I'm not going to provide therapy for them. They need to go pay for the services, because I had to do the work on myself, and still doing the work on myself, because you never finish until you completely transcend out of this type of existence. Okay, so I still have to do it. And so I'm not going to meet somebody who got all these, they got all these issues, or maybe because it's how he was treated as a child, or it could have been what they went through, or he or she, don't matter. I'm not going to be their therapist. They need to go pay somebody. I'm not going to be their therapist for free, where they get to take out all their problems on me. And a lot of times they have no intentions to change, because if they really wanted to change, they would do what's necessary to start changing. They would do what's necessary if they really want to change. No, they just want to throw their baggage on you, that you take all their baggage. And really, that goes for family too. That goes for the mother, everybody. That goes for family too. Like, no, I'm not going to be your therapist for free. I'm not going to be there to be your punching bag and make excuses like, oh, it's because they've been through this in their life. I don't care. No, you need to go pay somebody. Okay, but no. Just say be careful of these people that just, they have a problem with you having high self-esteem. Like, this guy clearly has a problem with her having high self-esteem, and he's threatened by her having confidence. He's threatened by that. Okay? I mean, I know she has high self-confidence, high self-esteem. It takes that for her to be the gymnast that she is. She got to have some high self-esteem, because you couldn't be that kind of gymnast without having self-confidence. You can't be at that level without having a high level of confidence. And he has a problem with that. And I don't have nothing. Excuse me. You know what? I was drinking this smoothie, and it's supposed to be a healthy type of smoothie. And I don't know. It's like, because for the last 2 days I was just drinking water and a strawberry acai. And now I decided to drink this, to use as a meal replacement. I'm drinking this juice, which is supposed to have all the vitamins. It's a supplement. And it's got me sounding all kind of crazy like this. I mean, goodness gracious, I don't even sound like this when I eat regular food. Jeez. But anyway, so excuse me for this, trying to clear my throat and stuff. But yeah, it's not just about, I don't want to make this just about a man, because I've seen so many women that have a problem with other women being confident. I've seen women who have a problem with other men being confident. So people in general don't like this. I remember going to school and say, oh, she thinks she pretty. Oh, she thinks she this and that. Oh, she thinks she all that. See, the people in general. So I don't want to just make this about hopping on one particular group of people, because I've seen this across the board. But this is a serious problem, where people, they just seem to have a problem. You have certain people who have a huge issue with folks who have confidence, and they want to block you. They want to complain, say, oh, you independent. You got an independent personality. You need to calm down. You too independent. See, they don't want you to know who you are. It's like, if you know who you are, it's not even about having money. And a lot of people are making money these days. It's not about having money. They don't like you to know who you are. When you know who you are, they have a problem saying, oh, you just want to be independent. Yeah, you got to get away from that type of stuff. You got to get away from that type of stuff, because when you know who you are, why would you submit to anybody else when you know who you are? And why are you submitting to anybody? Why are you submitting to anybody? I'm just saying, it's just a question. You're submitting to somebody who's flawed. You're submitting to somebody who has baggage. You're submitting to somebody who don't even know who they are. You're submitting to somebody who don't really know how to be a real leader, and you shouldn't even look for a leader anyway. But I'm just saying, why submit to that? So anyway, no. Anyway, so yeah, some of these, I'm just going to say though, some of these guys, I try to get away from that because I don't want to get into bashing folks. But it's just the truth. A lot of these guys don't like women to have confidence. They really hate. For a man under this kind of system, they have a hard time with women who know who they are. They have a hard time with that because it's a system that is controlled, that's run by men. And so a lot of guys have a hard time with women who know who they are. They have a hard time with that. And they get mad and tell you to submit to them. Or they're going to do everything to break you, to break your spirit, to break your confidence. They're going to do everything to break you so they can feel like they're up higher than you. But anyway, I just felt like talking about that briefly, and I will talk later.